Well, good morning. This is the North Dakota Carnivore. My name is Lance. And I've been on this carnivore diet for the last, what has been just about 15 months, about 6 days away from 15 months. So I've been on this diet for a couple of days now. It's been a wild ride. I've had a lot of luck. I've been really blessed to have found this diet. A little disappointed this morning. I know Hack Your Health is going on, so everybody's at Hack Your Health, but I was still hoping Kiltz would have been on this morning to do his normal stream that he does. I always enjoy watching his stuff. He gets so worked up and so energized on a Sunday morning when he does his live. It's just crazy. But, he's in Florida having a good time down there with all the other carnivores that are hanging out down there doing their thing. So we'll let him have that. Let's see. All right. Oh, so when I got up this morning, it was 22 degrees out, and the sun has been out and bright and shiny. Again, I've got my curtains open. That's the only reason why you can see the sign right now. Is my office isn't bright enough unless my curtains are open and the sun is shining for that to work on my laptop camera. The other camera I have, even in this light like right now, it's not bright enough for it. It gives off a weird look on it. So I don't know if I need to move the camera further back on that one or what I'm going to have to do. Might have to get a different camera altogether for that. It's just but I like that sign. That's why I put that in this screen here. So I put that up. I think that is so cool. I got that from my son-in-law, the OG Squishy. And it's just a really cool sign. Hey, good morning, B. Osborne. How are you doing today? It's a beautiful Sunday morning here. And I forgot to silence my phone. There we go. Now that shouldn't be going off. I had one of my granddaughters stay over tonight, and my wife is getting ready to take her and go to McDonald's for breakfast. My wife does eat McDonald's for breakfast. She'll get the sausage and egg. No muffin, no nothing, just a sausage and the egg. So she will do that, and she'll have one or two of those in the morning when she does go there with our granddaughter. Our granddaughter just gets their hash browns. She doesn't eat anything else there really, which isn't that bad. But it's still hash brown cooked in that nasty crap. And even if we buy hash browns ourselves and we cook them here, she won't eat them. She doesn't like the way they taste. So, I don't know. She's just kind of goofy. You're just waking up. Yeah, that's a lot of people are at this time of day still on a Sunday. Although it is 10 a.m. here in North Dakota in the Central Time Zone. We have a small sliver of North Dakota that's in the Mountain Time Zone, so it's 9 o'clock there. But where I'm at in the Magic City, it's a beautiful 35 degrees and just after 10. You're looking at both of the both of the streams this morning. Good morning, Chance. How are you doing this morning? Oh, you're on the west coast of. Oh, wait, where would you be at? You're up in Alaska. Are you in Canada? Where are you at, B? I knew you were west of here. I just didn't know it was a 3 hour difference. Yeah, Alaska, that's what I thought. I can't remember what is it, SSS Henley is in Alaska, and now she's in Hawaii for the winter. You're not like SSS Henley, huh? Jimbo, what's up? Or Jimbo. How's it going this morning, Jimbo? Where are you watching from? And Chance, Jim Bob and Chance, are you both on the carnivore diet? And how long have you been on it? And where are you watching from? The other one says, I'm not sure where she lives when she is in Alaska. And I love the winters here. I would too. That's one of the reasons why I'm in North Dakota. I love the winters here. Lived in Minnesota for a while. It's just not the same in Minnesota as it is here in North Dakota, especially up here in the northern part where I'm at. Minnesota, you'd get a few cold days in the wintertime. Nothing like here in North Dakota. Where I'm at in Minot, and I grew up just north of here, it wasn't uncommon to see 40 or 50 degrees below zero without the wind chill. Throw in that wind chill at times, and you could be looking at 100 degrees below zero, and it doesn't take much at those temperatures to hit that. But that's what I grew up in, and I absolutely love the weather. And now that I've been on the carnivore diet and I've lost all my insulation, that's different now. I do get colder. This last winter, I got a lot colder than I did the previous winters. But I think that was also part of an iodine deficiency that I was dealing with for the first several months, year that I was on the carnivore diet. And I think I've gotten that under control. I'm doing a lot better right now. I'm not nearly as cold as I used to be, which makes work a lot nicer because they like to keep the office at work at about 68 degrees. And that's a bit chilly, even for me. But I can handle it now. And so what's everybody eating today? What's your plans for your meals? Are you staying strict carnivore? Are you doing a ketovore on the weekends? My son-in-law was talking about doing that when he's on his days off at home. He was talking about doing more of a ketovore style diet. And when he's at work, it's much easier for him to be strict carnivore. And I remember when I was doing my insanity workouts and stuff, when I was working 2 weeks away from home, I was at home for 2 weeks, and it was much easier for me to be strict with my diet when I was away at work, because I would buy the food that I need for the 2 weeks, and that's how I would eat. I wouldn't eat anything else. Then, I get home and we have the family and what they're eating and stuff like that, and it just made it harder to stick to that type of a diet. It's just a little different. I helped them yesterday. My son-in-law and my daughter went to Costco, and he picked up 2 primal roasts, one rib roast and one strip loin roast. So we cut out 28 steaks out of those 2 roasts, and the ribeyes probably average about 19 ounces per ribeye, and the New York strip probably average about 22 ounces per steak. They're all kind of about the same thickness. It's just the difference in the size of the roast that was what made the difference on it. And So we cut up 28 steaks and vacuum seal them so that he could take them home and throw them in his freezer. And when he gets home from work, when he's on his work week and he gets home, he has a steak and eggs, and he's good with that. And that keeps him satisfied for, a OMAD meal. Well, let's see. What did I have for breakfast this morning? This was my breakfast this morning. It was 2 burger patties, 3 eggs, and salmon that I cooked yesterday. That's just the Alberta Black Gold salmon, or Alberta Black Gold seasoning on the salmon. That's just salt and pepper. That was cooked on a cast iron skillet with bacon grease until it was done on both sides. So the skin completely edible. It was an absolutely delicious way to start my morning. B. Osborne says, I will stay carnivore. My choices today are eggs, bacon, hamburger patties, and steak. Not sure what I'll eat. You won't eat until you get home from church. Yeah. It's generally on the weekends is when I eat in the mornings, and then late afternoon I try to eat before 5 o'clock. That way my stomach isn't full when I go to bed, because I get up at 4 a.m. my time. So I'm generally at work by 5 a.m. And if I don't have time to sit down and eat a breakfast, and there are times where my wife will make stuff for me so I can have it at work. I generally don't like to bring food to work, because then I sit and think about it all day, and then I'll end up eating it early. Those are your normal choices every day. Yeah. And you said that yesterday, you can eat the same foods, which is a blessing in this diet. I can eat the same foods all the time. It doesn't bother me. This is one of my favorites. A Power Bowl, bacon, eggs, ground beef, just delicious. And this one here, I've got 3 strips of bacon on top, but I also had 4 strips of bacon crumbled up inside of it. So it's just that's one of my favorite meals. What else do I have down here? Oh, this was my last rib roast that I got. I cut out the steaks. There's still a couple more steaks over on the side here that aren't shown on here. But that's what I eat. It's so much cheaper to do this. Let's see. Yeah, that Power Bowl looks delicious. How do I cook the bacon? I do mine in the oven. I've got a fairly good size cookie sheet, and it holds 11 slices of bacon at a time. And I actually have 2 of them, so I can cook a bunch at one time. And we generally make about 3 pounds at a time. So when we're cooking bacon, we cook a lot of bacon all at once. Yum. Absolutely. I love that. And, when I started out the carnivore diet, I had already lost 12 pounds, and that was with a medication. I was trying to get down to about 275, because I figured that was where I was at when I didn't have any issues with my blood pressure. It was about 275. And I wanted to get down there to see if I could get off my blood pressure medications. So, shortly before I started, these are some of the pictures of what I looked like before that. At our state fair, I couldn't walk for more than half an hour, so I've got a scooter. You look at the picture on the left there, it's actually a video of me throwing my granddaughter in there, but you see how big my belly was. And then the bottom two pictures here in that white shirt. That's just a big old marshmallow there. And then this one here, I'm glad my wife didn't catch this part, but my granddaughter and I are playing hockey with a foam hockey puck. And right after this here, I biffed it and fell right on my ass. I landed pretty hard on that one. But that's what I looked like before I started the carnivore diet. I was 300, at the heaviest was 347 pounds. When I started my carnivore diet, I was 335 pounds. And the 8 months I took a medication to lose weight, I lost 12 pounds. My first 8 months on the carnivore diet, I lost 111 pounds. Big difference. Just eating properly. And I ate more food, more calories in those 8 months than I did in the previous 8 months. I was restricting my diet in the other 8 months, and it wasn't working. So, okay. I thought my wife and granddaughter had left already. And I heard some noises on there. I thought one of our dogs was getting into something that they shouldn't have. V. Osborne, my heaviest was 340. You started carnivore when you were 311. Yeah, it's not a fun weight to be up in those 300-pound numbers up there like that. It's really kind of scary when you're that big. And I knew my health was going downhill. I was on 5 blood pressure medications. So, and my blood pressure wasn't doing any better. And I wasn't diagnosed with it, but I had sleep apnea. My wife would tell me all the time that I would wake her up because I'd stop breathing for so long while I was sleeping. I would stop breathing a lot. And it scared the hell out of her. She wanted me to go have the sleep studies done. I never did do that, though. But it was in the first 2 weeks, I stopped snoring. And I stopped not breathing while I was sleeping. So it was a good thing. And I got a lot of my improvements in my health started even before I got under the 300-pound mark. So that was truly amazing how quickly things change in your life and in your health when you're eating a proper diet. It doesn't take long. Osborne says the last 2 years have been stressful, and I know I didn't find carnivore. I'd be in the 400 pounds or dead by now. And, I agree. I don't know how much longer I had when I was at that weight. It's hard for somebody who hasn't been that heavy and that big to understand how stressful it is on the body and how bad it is for you to be at that weight. So, yeah, it's really hard. You bounce in the 270s for over a year and a half. Most of the stress items have been resolved, so he'll start losing again. Yeah, I've been dealing with stress at work the last couple of weeks, and we have projects going on, and it's stressful because we still have to get out our production, and we still have to do what we have to do out there, right? We don't get a choice to not do that for our customers. And when they're taking lines away so that you can't do what you normally do, it gets stressful. And I gained 6 pounds in the first 12 days of November. But a few days ago, I started eating my beef butter, bacon, eggs, using the ground beef patties. I've added some shrimp and I've added some salmon. That you saw that. I already ate a pound of salmon last night. That was absolutely delicious. It smelled so It was so good. But in just the last 4 days I've been doing the beef, butter, bacon, and egg, I've also lost 3 pounds. And part of it is I'm tracking what I'm eating, so I know how many calories from fat and how many calories from protein I'm getting. So I know I'm at that above 70% of my calories are coming from fat. And that is what makes a huge difference for me. Yeah, unless you've been to 300s and up, one doesn't know what it's like and really doesn't understand. Yeah, people don't. Even right now, I'm in the 200-pound mark. I don't feel as if I would be considered overweight because I don't look like I am, but I am. 217 pounds right now. I'm still overweight. Till I get to 200 pounds, that's where I'm considered to be at a normal weight. I don't get to get a pass on that one. I guess I could say that's all it is. It's just so hard to explain to people how bad you feel and the way your body reacts to different things. The pain that I was in, and a lot of the pain that I had wasn't because of the weight. It was the inflammation from my diet. And that's one of the things that people just don't understand is the amount of inflammation the standard diet causes in your body and why it hurts and what does it do to you. It's just one of those absolutely terrible things to have to deal with. What? Oh, I wanted to see that. I got emails popping up and catching my eye here, so I'm just getting rid of some of them. So I've got 3 monitors that I watch, and I have this set up in here for my work. So when I work from home, when I have to, I can have the same setup as I have at work. Makes working from home a lot easier when you can see everything that you need to see. I have a laptop that I use for that. That's separate from mine, so all I have to do is plug it into one thing, and then I get all 3 screens again. So, but yeah, now let's see. What do I have here? Oh, is this it? Oh, this was steaks that were cooked on my Pit Boss grill. Chicken wings that were cooked on the grill as well, and scallops. Now the scallops, believe it or not, have carbohydrates. Those 4 scallops come out to like 2 carbs or 3 carbs when you put that into a tracker and stuff. The carbohydrates have the scallops have a natural carbohydrate in them. So, but they're absolutely delicious. The wings were done on a 0 to 400 cook. I put them on the rack on the Pit Boss, and then I started, get it running, shut the lid after it fires up, and it's from 0 temperature to 400 degrees. And 30 minutes into it, I think it is, you flip them over, and they come out looking like that. And you temp them once they get to the right temp, then they're good. Pull them off, threw the steaks on. The Pit Boss has a sear option on it where you can open up a plate and it exposes it to the firebox, so you can cook the steaks low and slow. But I didn't done this one here. I just threw them on there. And then the scallops, I've got a small cast iron pan. It's meant for fajitas. I put that on right above that sear plate with it open and got that cast iron pan up to 600 degrees. Drop some ghee on it, and then drop the scallops on it for about 90 seconds on each side. And holy cow, did they turn out fabulous. I do love to cook. Making you hungry looking at all the yummy food. That wasn't the intention. I put some of the stuff in here just to talk about food itself. And people say that you eat the same things every time. Yeah, I do eat the same thing every day. I eat steaks, I eat scallops, I eat shrimp, I eat burgers, I eat power bowls. You know, this isn't boring food. This is absolutely delicious. I took a chuck roast and I threw it on my Pit Boss smoker, and this is the chuck roast off of a smoker. Yeah, it's got a beautiful smoke ring in there, and it took it was like 7.5 hours or whatever it was to get that chuck roast. And you can see I had 3 different meat probes in it to make sure that I got where I wanted it to. I have, hamburger patties and shrimp. Yes, I eat the same things all the time. Steak and shrimp. I eat the same foods all the time, but they're different. You can make them different by putting on whatever it is that you want on there. So, which one was that? Just having ground beef and eggs. It's different. So you're not having the same thing every time. I've got brisket that I do. Be glad that I show food and tell us how you cook. I love cooking, and one of the best things I did this summer was buy that pellet smoker. That I've got the Pit Boss Austin XL. I got it at Walmart. Knowing now, I would have gotten the bigger one because that one has a second larger rack on it, so it's easier to get a brisket on that rack and put a pan underneath it to deflect the heat. But I've learned how to do it with the one I have now, and it is absolutely one of the best things I've ever bought. I love cooking on the Pit Boss. I love the taste of smoked meats because you can get different flavors using different wood pellets or even wood chips in a smoker or a smoke tube can make a huge difference on that. Hey, what's up, Rise Biscuit? Back from church. Nice to see you here again this morning. So what are your plans for eating today, Rise Biscuit? Osborne and I were just chatting about the different foods and different ways of cooking stuff. I absolutely love cooking. And my wife is happy that I'm on the carnivore diet because I cook most of our meals. Probably about 95% of them I cook now because I love cooking meat. And it's an easy way to do it. And I think that's all I put on here was for the meats was what I just showed there. But one of my favorite ones I did was this one here. It was that chuck roast. That turned out so absolutely delicious. You can't really see it in the picture, but it was absolutely moist in the middle. It still had a lot of fat inside of it. You can see on the picture there in the top right there, it still has a layer of fat that didn't render all the way through, and which is absolutely great. And it kept it moist, and the flavor of the smoke just penetrated into the meat. It was so good. That was is that a 5-pound roast? When I bought these two, they called them chuck roast, but they were like mini chuck rolls with the chuck steaks cut out of them already. But one was an 8.5 pound, one was just over a 10-pound roast. And I mistakenly cut the 10-pound in half. I was planning on cutting that one into thirds to get 3-pound roasts, and that's not what happened. But it was one of the best roasts that I've made. It's almost as good as the chuck roast from that Cassie has on Carnivore Quest channel. That was delicious too. This was absolutely great. So maybe your mouth is watering. Yeah, I've got so many different pictures that I've taken through my year and year and a couple months on carnivore. I've got so much that I've taken on here, so I've got a lot of pictures of the food that I've made and the different ways I've made it to make it so that it appeals to my wife. My wife is the hardest one because she wants her variety, and you've seen what I like to eat. I can do hamburger patties. I did that for just about the whole month of October in the BBB challenge. I had a couple of steaks in that challenge, but just about everything I ate in that challenge was hamburger patties, quarter-pound burger patties, because that's what I like. I can eat that every day, and it doesn't bother me. I got another big bag of chicken wings sitting in my freezer here that I wasn't thinking, so I didn't pull them out. But it's what I like to eat on Sundays. I like to have chicken wings and burger patties on a Sunday, because to me that's the best way to eat on a Sunday while you're watching football. Your husband still eats a fad diet? Yeah. When I started a carnivore diet, and I explained to my wife what I was going to be eating, she said, that's fine. She said, but don't expect me to do it, because I won't do that. She's very adamant that she would not do it. About that same time as she got her CGM, I've got a CGM back here that I'm wearing right now. That's the Stello. So that gives me my blood glucose. My wife is wearing a G7, Dexcom G7 right now. So that's what she's been using the last couple of months. And when she got her first one, she was using the Freestyle Libre 3. And when she first put it on, she couldn't get a reading because her blood sugars were too high. The readings only go up to 400. Her blood glucose was over 400. So she was type 2 diabetic. When she went to the doctor and had her labs drawn before she got that, her blood glucose fasting was over 500. Her A1C was 15. Now, I didn't ever pressure my wife into doing a carnivore diet. But when she started seeing what her numbers were, and then when she couldn't get it to begin with, and she was like, why is it so high? I'm like, what you're eating is why. And when she started, what she tried doing was just not eating to get it to go down. So she'd only eat, once or twice a day, but she was still eating a lot of carbohydrates. So it kept spiking it. And it didn't work out so well. I was learning I also eat chicken thighs, cook them in the air fryer. Yeah, chicken thighs in the air fryer is really good. I don't have, the air fryer I have now is a Ninja XL, so it's got the doors that you open up. It's not the same as the basket air fryer. It doesn't work the same. I don't care for my chicken thighs cooked in that. I have to do them in the oven now in a cast iron pan. But I do like chicken thighs, skin on with the bone. They're absolutely delicious. Dano's original seasoning, that's really good on them. I really like that. And what did I use it on? I cooked something a few weeks ago, and I used the Dano's seasoning in it. And oh my goodness. Well, I think I made meatballs. And I used grated Parmesan cheese, pork panko, and then before I cooked them, I rolled them in the Dano's seasoning. That turned out really good. Your husband supports you on the carnivore diet, and you're very thankful for that. Because a lot of you see comments in these where a lot of people don't get the support from their significant other, and it's sad. It really is. But with my wife, I never tried to get her to do it. She just naturally went to a carnivore diet, or almost a pure carnivore diet, just by eliminating the foods that were causing her blood sugars to spike. So she just kind of naturally started eating that way. And one day she's like, "Can you cook food for me too now?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. I'd love to." So I don't mind doing that. I love cooking for her. And then one of the things that I found for a treat, and I haven't done it for a while, I should do this here for her now. I'm thinking about it. There's a place in Kingman, Arizona. It's a bakery, and they're keto. And I watched the interview with Dave, its owner. He was on Sean Baker's podcast. And at the very end, he talked a little bit about the bakery that they have. And it's a keto bakery. They make everything that they make is keto friendly. They don't use flours. They don't use sugars. They use alternative sweeteners. And I don't know which ones they are off the top of my head. But I ordered her some stuff from there just to try it out. I ordered her some snickerdoodles and then a couple of muffins that they had. And when she tried them, she had absolutely zero glycemic response to it. Her blood sugars didn't go up even 1 point from eating a snickerdoodle. And she was amazed. This summer when we had to go to California for my wife's brother's funeral, we went to Southern California. On the way home, we detoured and we went to Kingman, Arizona, so we could go to that bakery. And it's called Keto Carnivore. And you can look it up. It's actually a nice little restaurant. So we stopped in there and I got to meet Dave and talked with him for a little bit. Got my picture taken with him. He's a big guy. Not big, but he's tall. I'm 6'3", and he towered over me. But I believe that link is actually in the description on the in here somewhere. Keto Carnivore in the description. I used to have it in here. Healing Humanity, Carnivore Quest. I'm going to have to put that back in my description. But Keto Carnivore.com is where they go, and they ship anywhere in the U.S. I believe Alaska would account for that too. But they're really, really good foods. When we went there, it was a Wednesday. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or if it was Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday. And we ate lunch there. And I wanted to have a steak. And it's on the menu, but it's Friday, Saturday listed on there. And I was like, oh, dang, okay. I gave Dave a hard time. Like, you mean I drove 2,000 miles to come here? You're not going to give me a steak? He's like, oh, I'm like, no, man, I'm just kidding. We came here mainly to meet you and to get some of your bakery goods because they're absolutely delicious. And I explained to them that I'd ordered a couple of times before we went down there, so we've had more than that one order from them. But they've got some really good food, and it's keto friendly, which my wife is. She won't say she's carnivore, even though she eats 99.9% carnivore. She still doesn't claim to be carnivore, but when people are having issues, she's like, all I gotta do is eat meat. You know, she is carnivore, whether she wants to believe it or not. And they've got like cheddar bagels that they make, fudgy brownies. They have a sampler box. They've got the keto chocolate chip muffins, and that's what I got my wife. And then the decadent ketogenic snickerdoodle blondies. Those were absolutely delicious. Chocolate chip cookies, the buttery pecan snowball cookies, the round balls with the like the powdered sugar on them, but they're keto, and mini pumpkin pies. Yep. But if you like, when you click on the chocolate chip cookie, there's different varieties that you can. If you go down to like the flavors on their menu, they've got the cowboy chocolate chip or snickerdoodle, so you can select different types of stuff. And they are absolutely amazing. And I've tried bits and pieces from what my wife has had. They taste good, but even if they're ketogenic, I still don't want to eat them because I don't like the way I feel after I eat certain things. And I think it's almond flour is what she uses for most of her stuff here. Coconut flour, some of it. Almond flour, coconut flour, butter, eggs, vanilla salt, baking powder, beef gelatin, sugar-free chocolate chips. So, yeah, they've got some good stuff here at Keto Carnivore. I think my wife loves them. I don't know why I haven't ordered more of it for her yet. Holy cow. Looks like they're doing a holiday pies. Pumpkin, pecan, cheesecake, chocolate silk. And they're, well, let's see. Yeah, they're sugar-free, gluten-free, seed oil-free, and optional dairy-free pies. Wow. I don't know if they ship those ones, but they might. Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. If I tried eating any of those if I was born, I'm afraid I'd fall and not be able to get back up. And because they were, I mean, just the little pieces that I've had, they're absolutely delicious. And if I would have ate more, I probably would have ate the whole thing. They're just not something that would be good for me. My wife loves them. So I think when we went there, we bought, that was like $120 worth of their bakery items. And then Dave threw in a bunch of the bakery items also for free. And we spent $120. Like most of the cookies, never even made it home. My wife made most of them, which on the way home. So it's just one of those wonderful things was to meet Dave and to see the the way the bakery runs and stuff like that. That's actually pretty cool. And then getting to see, bigger part of Arizona than what we just drive through going into California on the interstate, which it was only about an hour. It was an hour drive out of the way to Kingman, and then another hour straight up to just over an hour to Vegas, I believe it was. So it didn't take us that much longer. We ended up going back to where we needed to be by the end of the night. So it was well worth the trip to go up there. And well, what else is anybody else eating today, or what are your plans on your foods for today? Is anybody having difficulties within their carnivore diet that wants to share anything or needs any encouragement from us? Let me know. What this morning meeting is for is just to help anybody that needs any help. A little bit of encouragement, seeing how other people are doing on their diets and what they do, learning from others so that we don't make the same mistakes. It's one of the biggest things that helps anybody that can learn. Like B. Osborne was saying, that when we were talking about keto carnivore and the ketogenic desserts that they have, I couldn't eat them. I can, taste it, and then I've got to move away from it and make sure it's in the back seat of the car while I'm driving. Otherwise, I was going to eat them. But lucky for me, my wife ate most of that on the way home. But she just finished the last fudge brownie about 2 weeks ago that we got from them, and they do very well in the freezer. So you can order the stuff and have it in the freezer, and it lasts. And if she forgets about it, it lasts even longer. So that's always good. But so today's Sunday, and Sundays are typically a football day. Anybody do anything with football today, or everybody kind of footballed out already? I actually don't watch a whole lot of football. I used to, but yeah, they kind of turned me from being a fan of football many years ago. So I have all the controversy and the BS that used to go on and is still going on to a point. I've stopped watching most football. But what I do watch is I do watch hockey. I'm a big fan of the NAHL, which is a junior hockey league. We have a junior hockey league team here in Minot, and we support them. We're season ticket holders to that, so we go to the hockey games all the time here and absolutely love hockey. My NHL team that I watch are the Vegas Golden Knights. Gotta love the Knights. First team in history as an expansion team to go to the Stanley Cup. Now, they didn't win, but they were the first expansion team to make it that far. And they should have won that. They should have won that series. I think they got screwed, but, last night they played the St. Louis Blues and absolutely destroyed them 4-1. Tonight, they're playing in Minnesota, which is really kind of upsetting to me right now because my son and his girlfriend are fans of the Charlotte Checkers. The Minnesota minor league team that they use for the guys that they've signed but aren't good enough is the Iowa Wild. And that's in I think it's in Des Moines. But the Checkers played the Wild last night in Iowa. Tonight, the Minnesota Wild, played the Vegas Golden Knights in Minnesota. That's only a few hour drive. I should have been thinking, because I could have had tickets. I could have been up there and I could have been watching my Golden Knights destroy the Wild again. You don't watch any sports? That's the only sport I watch now is the NHL. Growing up, I used to play basketball and football. I've never watched baseball. Never interested me at all. And I used to watch basketball probably until the mid 90s, and I stopped watching basketball. The NBA just became too weird. Same with what I think has happened with the NFL. It's just not right. And then, the NHL, that's still, I don't think it's changed. They've tried bringing change into it, and it hasn't worked. And they're really not that, fond of making the big changes there. So I like that. But I mean, even back when they were doing all the kneeling in the NFL, the NHL had 2 players that did it that I know of in one game. One from each team knelt, and that was the last time I saw that happen. I haven't seen it happen again. You don't see, the Canadian teams. They've had so many controversies and stuff going on up there, and you don't see them doing that to their flag. And I think the U.S. players, or players in the U.S. saw that, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing that either. Yeah, it's actually my second electrolyte today already. It's been one of those. It's been a long morning already for me. I've been up since just after 6 this morning, my time, and it's 10:50 now. So it's been a long day. Bass, that stuff gets old. Are you talking about the kneeling and the drama that has been going on in the professional sports? That's what you're saying. I agree 100%. That it does. It got old, and it got old quick with me. To the point where I used to drink Bud Light. When I was drinking, I drank Bud Light, and when all this stuff happened, I stopped drinking Bud Light. I actually stopped drinking beer altogether. Because if you know anything about the beer sales in the U.S., Anheuser-Busch, or is it AnBev, whatever it's called now, they own just about all the breweries in the U.S. It's either that or Miller. There's like 2 major breweries in the U.S. anymore, and it's just sad. I used to like the Goose Island 312 beer, and then I found out Goose Island sold to Anheuser-Busch, which, yuck. Why would they do that? And I just, that's what got me to stop actually drinking beer, is all that BS. Brian's Biscuit, I do iodine for my Hashimoto's and magnesium for sleep. Extra vitamin D3, K2 in the winter. That seems to be enough. That really does help. Actually, I got an Amazon order that should be coming here shortly that has the iodine, more iodine in it, and then the D3K2 in it. So here in North Dakota, in the wintertime, we don't get enough sunshine, and it really kind of sucks because I'd love to be out in the sun. This summer was the first summer since probably 2019 that I've actually enjoyed being out in the sunshine and being out in the weather, because when I was over 300 pounds, I really didn't want to be out there. I didn't feel good. It wasn't pleasant for me because I was so big, and I definitely wouldn't go out there without a shirt on. This summer, if it was sunny out, I was I was either laying in the backyard taking a nap in the sun, or I was sitting in the lawn chair out in the front yard, but just in a pair of shorts and my Crocs. And most of the time I'd have those kicked off and just my feet in the grass, because, man, that felt good. Yeah, when you have them all in your house, you need to start taking them. Yeah, it's important to take the D3, D3K2, especially in the wintertime when you're going to be getting a lot less sunshine than I am here, and a lot less than what anybody else is. The land of the midnight sun, or the land of no sun at all. If the D3 was 103 in the last visit, my doc mentioned I might want to lay off the supplements, so break until December. We'll retest that appointment next week. Yeah, I think my vitamin D, the last time I had that checked, was at the very bottom of the normal level, or just below the normal level. But I wasn't taking anything at all. Yeah, you don't get any sun up there at all at this time of year. I'm actually one of the only kids in the family that I haven't been to Alaska. My dad, my brothers, I think my sister's been up there too, but I haven't. It was, 35 last year at this time. Yeah, I think that's about where mine's been. But last year, last December, I did get my D3K2, and my wife and I took that all winter long. And it makes a difference in how you feel. Bass been carnivore only 10 weeks now, but I fish a lot and work outside, so I think I'm good on vitamin D. For the vitamin D, getting the sun on your skin, and as much skin as you can, is the important part. I can't remember if it was Anthony Chafee or if it was Dr. Berry that was talking about skin cancer, and how they have noticed that most skin cancers are in places that the sun doesn't shine on anyway. So the sun is not what's causing the skin cancer. It's the food oils or seed oils, your diet. But getting sun on as much exposed skin as you can is what really benefits your body. When I go out and I hang out in the sun in the mornings, I take my glasses off. These don't have the what do you call it in there to block the sun, but they still do. Every glass pane, even the glass panes in your house, have that so that they block sunshine and the rays that actually are beneficial to you. But getting the sun directly into your eyes without sunglasses and without regular glasses on is very helpful. Yeah, the importance of getting proper vitamins is extremely important, and knowing that eating a carnivore diet, you don't have to have as high of a level as you do if you're eating the standard diet. And I was warned that it's great that you fish and spend time outside. That will help on the carnivore diet, absolutely. And how are you liking it, Bass? Growing up in the 70s, there was a SPF 1 and SPF 2. That issue became a racket. Absolutely. I remember when I was growing up, I don't remember SPF at all in where I was at in the 70s. I don't think our family ever bought any SPF sunscreen. If there's any tanning oil at the house, it was tanning oil. There's no SPF. It was coconut oil or whatever that had something in it that helped you tan. When I was in the military and I was stationed over in Germany, one of the guys I worked with was really dark. And I was like, how the hell do you get that dark? And he said his secret was you get a ball of baby oil and he'd put 9 or 10 drops of iodine in it. And then he'd put that on and he'd lay it. That's how he got dark. It's growing up in the 70s. Don't remember having anything for protection of the sun. Yeah, when we were outside all the time. And that's what happens when you grow up in that era. We didn't have anything. There was nothing that we were kicked out of the house. You get outside, you go play. You come back in. You had chores to do. If you came back in the house, they'd find something for you to do. We're outside all the time. Yeah. Surprised me, there wasn't. Women would apply Crisco. My sisters did that. I'd rather do beef tallets. Actually, I did that with my hand all summer long. I applied beef tallow to it. And man, does that really work great for my hand for the spot that I had on that was really bad. Yeah, used baby oil tan in the 80s. Baby oil and iodine. Yep, absolutely. And, can you imagine people seeing you doing that today? Man, people would lose their minds. Because how bad would that be for your body, right? The worst thing that you'd be doing would be the baby oil. Rev, what are your thoughts on raw meat diet and raw milk? Raw milk, I absolutely have no issues with at all. Raw meats, I've had raw meat, and it's not something that I care for right now, and it's different for me, so I don't really do that. There are benefits to eating the raw meat. Now I can eat a very rare steak. Just get my pit boss up to 400 or set to 500 degrees and open up the sear port on it. Throw a steak on there for a minute on each side so that it sears the outside and inside is blue rare. I can do that, but just slicing off a piece of steak, it just doesn't work in my head. So, but raw milk, I have no problem with raw milk. Raw milk, raw cream, absolutely great for your body. That's my opinion. It's not medical advice. Let me make that clear. But I enjoy it. That helped me this summer and this spring when I was trying to stop my weight loss. I used the raw milk. I used the raw cream, and it worked for me to be able to stop my weight loss at 111 pounds. And this past October, I started trying to lose weight again, and I lost 15 pounds in October. And all I did was cut out the dairies, the raw cream, the raw milk, sour cream, cheeses. There's a variety of raw cheeses out there too that you can get, and they're really good. And the one thing I found was even the raw milk that I had because we didn't drink a lot of it, but the raw milk could be in the fridge for 3 weeks. You shake it up and smell it, it's still fine. It doesn't spoil, it doesn't rot like pasteurized milk does. So I absolutely, but if you can handle the raw meat, there are more benefits to having raw meat. Cooking does take out some of the benefits, but I don't know if it's anything that you would ever really notice. You know, Dr. Kiltz in the morning meetings that he does every Monday through Friday, he talks about eating raw meat, and he's actually ate raw meat on the live streams. He does do that. He's also done that with liver. He'll freeze it and then slice it thin and take just chunks of it and eat it like that. Carnivore diet for bass, it fits like a glove. Good results so far, down almost 30 pounds. That's awesome. Sleep really well. Inflammation and soreness gone. Yeah. All of the effects. Yep. And that's so nice when that happens. The Osborne says that I myself do not like raw meat. Yeah. It is, you have to like it to be able to do that. Bryce Biscuit, congrats to Bass. It's a great victory to have. Bryce Biscuit, cook my burgers rare. You like the cold centers? Okay. That's one of the things I don't ever eat that way is ground beef. And I don't know why. I can eat a steak rare, but my burgers have to be cooked. I've never been able to do that. Fan of steak tartare and beef capricoa, but won't eat raw steaks. Really? But you'll eat steak tartare. That's different. V. Osborne, congratulations on being down 30 pounds. Yep. I do love how my body feels, less pain and inflammation on carnivore. Glad you were here. So am I. It's really nice to have other people sharing their results like this. It encourages so many people, and sharing your story makes a difference to anybody out there that's watching, and somebody might relate to you and to your struggles in doing this diet. So it's just really nice. JG, carnivore is king. Absolutely. It's the best way to eat. And I believe so myself. Bryce says some of my inflammation went down immensely on carnivore. No more sciatica or neurological as well. Edema gone too. Yeah, my edema went, actually took a while for mine to go away. I was really bad with that. Inflammation went down pretty quick. JG, I prefer mine medium rare. Yeah, medium rare it's the easiest way to cook a steak. Actually, my son and his girlfriend like steaks, and I generally have to cook it for him, but I've been showing him how to do that kind of stuff. So if we throw it into the air fryer with a temperature probe, get it to 120, and throw it onto a hot cast iron skillet for a minute on each side, just to reverse sear. Man, that comes out delicious. And it comes out just about a perfect medium rare. Yeah, Osborne, I noticed I like, the longer I eat carnivore, I like my steaks more bloody. All hamburger, I need to be well done. Yeah, I do too. But I've always ate my steaks medium rare. I don't know, I think back to the one steakhouse that I tried that I would never go back to, and that was Montana Mike's. I went there and ate one time. I ordered it was a New York strip, and I wanted it medium rare. I got a piece of beef jerky. It was so overcooked, and it had absolutely no flavor. I grew up stealing raw ground beef out of my mom's meatloaf bowl. Tartare is basically chopped up beef. I believe it's a texture thing for me. Guess I'm not lying. Well, if you're eating raw ground beef, you probably still are lying there, Bryce Biscuit. And the other one, I think the healing is great. Absolutely. Your body heals so quickly too. It's just amazing. Let's see, Rob. Any suggestions on how to handle cravings for carbs? Recently, upsurge of carnivores, including some carbs. Yeah, the best way for me is to increase my fat. Um, that's the higher fat that you eat, the less you'll have for cravings. I personally encourage people, if you're on the carnivore diet and you're fairly new, track your calories, specifically track your calories from fat and your calories from protein. Generally, 70 to 80% of your calories from fat to 20 to 30% of your calories from protein is where the body will do really well for most people. If you're having cravings and you're at the 70% of your calories from fat, increase it to 80. See if that gives rid of the cravings. Basically, what the cravings are telling you that you're hungry and you need to eat. Your mind is telling you that you should have carbs because that's a fast calorie intake. It's not the best thing for you, though. If you can eat meat and you can eat something fatty, for example, a general ribeye steak is either 74 or 76% of the calories come from fat. So a ribeye is about the perfect to eat. If you buy a rib roast and you cut it yourself, you can get a higher fat content in that by not trimming off as much of the fat as they do at the grocery store. The grocery store trims off way too much. If you, here's another one too. Eat butter, real butter. Kerrygold butter is absolutely delicious. My wife makes brown butter bites. Basically, it's you put a thing of butter into a pan and you cook it down until it melts. All the milk fat solids are on the bottom and they caramelize. Once they turn brown, and you'll know when they turn brown, the whole thing changes and goes through like 4 different stages when you're cooking it. And then you put them into a rubber mold, or if you want, you can just put them into a cookie pan or a small cake sheet and just freeze them like that and then break them up into pieces. All the brown butter bites on the bottom make a delicious snack. And it's a great way to get extra fat into your diet. Brian's biscuits, I have to take walks to get rid of the food noise. Yeah, I am a carb addict though, through and through. Figuring this out by elimination. Hormones like ghrelin, leptin no longer work adequately. Addiction will whispers. Yeah. And the ghrelin is it's a nasty hormone that makes you think that you're hungry. It's one of the things that I learned fasting is I recognize when that ghrelin is really high in my body now, and I can ignore the ghrelin. It's a hard one to. It's a hard one for a lot of people to get through. But when you're having cravings, taking a walk. I have on the other side of my laptop here. I have a treadmill that I get on, and I'll walk on that. I'll walk outside when it's nice out. I've got a certain path I take when I take my walks is like 3.5 miles that I can go out and I can walk, and it doesn't take that long. It's just over an hour to walk 3.5 miles, or I can jump on my treadmill and I can walk for an hour or a half hour, 20 minutes, whatever it takes to make me feel better. I also have a workout bench over here that I've got with a bunch of dumbbells that I can do that. I've barely done that since being on the carnivore diet. And one of these days I'm going to have to get over there and start doing it. I don't know how well it's going to work. For me, I've never lifted weights, but I do have them. My son has, my grandson comes over here and he uses them every now and then. They've used them way more than me. I still have my subscription to the Beachbody Body on Demand, so I have access to all the Beachbody workouts. So I can still do those, if I feel like doing them. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's just, I don't really feel like doing workouts. I haven't needed to do them. I have been walking on my treadmill more this week because of the stress at work and the weight that I gained from that stress. And that's one of the things that I've learned too, is watching when stress is in my life. I've noticed that when things get stressful for me, even if I eat a strict carnivore diet, I'll gain weight if I'm not tracking my calories from fat. And if I'm eating like 2,500 calories in a day and I'm getting less than 70% from fat, I will gain weight quick if I'm stressed. When we went to California this summer, the month of July was a bad month for my wife and I, just because of everything that we had to do. Her brother passed away at the end of June, June 30th. We had the funeral in July, so we drove from North Dakota to California, and from California to Arizona to back to North Dakota. That was the best part of it, though. And then right after we got back, we had our state fair, and I got a camping spot at the fairground so that we could pull a trailer in and camp there, to have a place just to, hang out. My dad was less than a mile and a half from the fairgrounds, and somebody ran into him and destroyed the camper. So the month of July, I actually gained 10 pounds, and that's where I learned how to figure out what my body was telling me. Bryce, if your carb cravings are rooted in actual addiction, you will need tools, strategies, and support to navigate. Community support is key, though, for everyone in my experience. And I agree with that, Bryce. Basically, that's the morning meetings that we have. I'm a part of the Dr. Kiltz meeting every morning at 5 a.m. Central Time, and I also am a part of the Carnivore Quest morning meeting every day. And those two groups every day have made a huge difference in my life and in my ability to stick to this diet and to learn from others and things that haven't worked for them and things that they've done that have worked that make it easier for me to continue on my diet and for me to have good results. Osborne says that she's a carb addict. Also, I used to think that making carnivore sad food would be good, but I found out my body and my mind and my body would crave the real thing even more. Yes. I agree. See, Brett, every influencer in this space that I trust agrees that macros are counterproductive for new carnivores. Focus on fatty meat, eat until satisfied, and do whatever sustains that, even with some carbs. See, and that's where I disagree with them, because so many people start carnivore diet And then they end up quitting the carnivore diet and because it wasn't working for them. Nobody out there really understands how much fatty red meat they need to eat. And if you are coming from a standard American diet where you're eating lean meats and everything about fat is vilified, so many people can't wrap their heads around what it takes to actually get the proper amount of fat. The first 90 days, I tracked everything, and that to me was what helped me make this diet. Is that going to work for everybody? Nope. Some people may be able to do exactly that where they don't track anything and they can do good. I couldn't. I had to track because that's the way I am. I tracked everything when I was working out, doing insanity, and that's the kind of stuff too. And to be honest, the other one says she doesn't count macros or anything, just eat meat, eggs, salt, and butter. Yeah, and if that works for you, that's great. But again, the way I look at it is so many people have a hard time with this diet because they don't know how much fat to really eat. We say to eat a high-fat carnivore diet. How do you know how much fat is high? A lot of people don't understand that chicken breast is not a high-fat food. Even a chicken breast with skin on doesn't have enough fat for a person. Eating lean ground beef doesn't work for people. And then there's the people that are the lipotoxicity. Jenny Minnich talks about that, where her husband has that. He can't eat a high fat, the 70 to 80 or higher carnivore diet. He has to eat a lower fat carnivore diet. It's like 45 to 60% of calories from fat. But they wouldn't have found that out if they weren't tracking. And his first year on carnivore, he didn't lose any weight. He didn't have any health benefits because his body type is not the one that works with that. And Bryce basically said, I learned that keto doesn't work for me mostly due to carnivore sad food. Yeah. It kept my addiction in control. Yeah. And that's, it's a lot of it too, is you can make a lot of the standard foods by substitutions for stuff, and it makes it carnivore. And for some people, it does make it worse with the food noise. For you, intuitive eating always worked. That's how you're able to trust it. See, that hasn't worked for me. It's like eat until you're comfortably stuffed. I don't get that signal. For me, I have to know how many calories I'm eating and how much fat I'm getting, because I can eat a lot of food, and I've always been able to eat a lot of food, and I can eat and eat and eat, and I don't get that signal that says that I'm full. It doesn't work for me. So I'm one of the people I have to track what I eat, otherwise I'll overeat. I did that one night not too long ago. On a weekend, I got up, I had 6 or 8 eggs, I had like 10 or 12 pieces of bacon. And then later that night, I cooked a steak. I ate the steak, and while the steak was cooking, I also put on a tenderloin, a pork tenderloin roast for my wife. And when that was done, I helped her eat that too. And altogether that day, I ate, it was almost 6,000 calories. And I wasn't full. At least I didn't feel full. But I don't have that signal that tells you to stop, which most people have, and it works for them. It doesn't work for me. Yeah. And yeah, the other one says that's great that it helps you keep in control. Breakfast, I learned I can only eat very limited carbs. Sauerkraut, mustard, pickles, that's it. Berries ruined my progress. Yeah. It's sauerkraut has its purpose. It's the fermented food that it actually has benefits for you. Mustard, no, I do mustard. I have the what do you call them? They're the Teton Polish sausages from Costco. Those are really good, and they're really fairly clean. I use mustard on those. B. Osborne, Baskin Braggs biscuit. What is intuitive eating? Let's see. Intuitive eating, basically, it's letting your body tell you what to eat and when to eat, and whether you're full or not. And at least I believe that's what it is. And Bridesmaids had the opposite experience. She developed a food aversion, mostly from me, when days without eating that wasn't intentional. Yeah, that can be a problem. So you had a food aversion to meat. Now, I think Dr. Kiltz is one that says, and don't eat. That's fast. Actually, I think Dr. Berry said the same thing, maybe a couple of times too, where if you had a food aversion, and it's basically time to fast, and when you get hungry, that's when it's time to eat. Best, I record what I eat every day in my journal, but not calories or fat content, along with daily blood pressure measurements. Yeah, I had to stop doing that when I was taking my blood pressure medications, because the more I recorded my blood pressure, the worse it seemed to get. And I didn't want to know it anymore. So, but it's within, when I started my carnivore diet, I was taking 5 blood pressure medications. And within the first couple of weeks, I'd stand up and I'd get lightheaded and dizzy. And then it finally dawned on me, I was like, I need to take my blood pressure. And yeah, my blood pressure was low. So I cut out one of my medications. I took one of them at night, and I took 4 during the day. So I took the one at night out. A few days later, I did it again where I got lightheaded and a little dizzy, and checked my blood pressure, and it was low again. It was like 106 over 68. So I took the lowest dose I was taking for the days out. And I did that until I got to the last 2 medications, which were my max dose. I went to my doctor to have those weaned down. And it was within 6 weeks of starting carnivore, I was off of all 5 of my blood pressure medications. And now I only check it every once in a while. Rice based, but you'd always crave sugar or starches, even up until today. Wow. I don't have the cravings like that. And if I do have a craving, I just grab some meat in the fridge. I've always got something cooked in there. Hey, Cosmic Gesture, how you doing today? Yeah, I'd be a miserable caveman because I wouldn't be measuring anything. Yeah, I would be. That would be. But I'd also be eating just what's out there. And, what's in season too, which I think is what ruined so many of our diets. It's not the occasional plant that ruined it. It's the never-ending ability to have them that has ruined it for so many people. Yeah, the Teton Water Ranch. It's great stuff and very clean. I do enjoy the Polish sausage. I haven't tried any of the other stuff. That's the only one that the Costco I have has, and it's the only one that you can get in North Dakota, is that one. So that kind of sucks. So they do have some other stuff on there. I'd like to try some of their other stuff from that ranch. All right. I'm trying to remember what that first part is. You yourself didn't eat, but then all the influencers caution against under eating and hormonal. Yep. It's hard to navigate. And that's absolutely right. And that's one of the other things too, is when you're eating the carnivore diet, you have to still eat a proper amount of food. When I first started eating the carnivore diet, the app that I use is from my Fitbit. And I put in my starting weight and how much I wanted to lose in a week. And it'd give me a calorie to shoot for. And when I first started carnivore, that's what I was doing. I was going for that calorie, and then I stopped going for the calorie, and I went for the calories from fat. I ended up eating more food than what I was supposed to, but I was losing weight. I averaged probably 12 pounds a month of weight loss for the first few months. And, up to 8 months, I lost, the most I lost at any month was 15 pounds. And I lost that like 2 or 3 times, including this last October. So, some months I lost more, some months I lost less, but I was eating a lot more than what I should have been eating. And it's just crazy how eating the right foods does that. It allows you to be able to do it. I never underate. I haven't underate at all on the carnivore diet. So I've never had that issue because I used to track everything. And undereating is just as bad as overeating the standard American diet, because your body does a lot of things when it doesn't have the right amount of nutrition in it. Gesture fasting definitely fixed meat aversion and usually corrects histamine intolerance as well. Yeah, I've had good luck fasting. My last fast I did was 144 hours or 6 days, and that seemed to reset my body temperature. And for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been cold. Even with the temperatures dropping here, my body temperature is regulated like it should be. So that's actually kind of nice. I was wondering, I also log when and what and how much I eat, and also how much water I drink, but that's all. Yeah. I actually don't log my water, and I should have, because how many people do you hear talk about grams on carnivore? So many people talk about it. And what I found for myself was I was drinking too much water. Yes, I was drinking my electrolytes like I am right now. This is my second one of the day. And I drink my electrolytes, but I drink that bottle or that cup of electrolyte, and then I'd have 3 or 4 of water. I was still drinking too much water. I was still flushing all those electrolytes I just put into my body out of my body. And that's what was causing my leg cramps. Now, if I drink one of those with 1 water, 1 electrolyte, I'm all right. If I drink 2 waters with that, then I'm screwed because I'm going to have cramps. So I'll have 2 electrolytes and 1 or 2 waters, and I'm okay. I also found if I drink sparkling waters like a Topo Chico, that will screw me up. That will, even if I have just electrolytes, if I drink a Topo Chico or a sparkling water before I go to bed, that will screw me up. Rice biscuit, I fast a few days a month, but I'm concerned with sarcopenia. I'm leaning towards consistency as far as weight loss for now. Yeah. I've actually been debating on fasting again here. I think I am actually going to wait until after the new year to do any more fasting. I was about to start a fast. I wanted to do another 144 hours or 168 hours or 7 days just to do it. But I think my body needs a break from fasting. I think I need just to do my OMAD Monday through Friday and my 2MAD on the weekends to give my body a chance to adjust to the weight loss again, to losing weight, and to continue the healing like I wanted to. So sometimes you have to listen to your body. If you are into fasting, you want to fast, there is a guy, his name is Jerome, and his channel is Finally Fasting. He's actually got some really good information on there. He has a tremendous benefit and change in his life from fasting. Bass, I stopped my 2 blood pressure meds, so I'm tracking for a doctor's appointment in mid-December. It has been perfect since the beginning of October. That is awesome. It is so nice when you're able to de-prescribe medications. Now, does your doctor know that you've stopped it, or is this when they're going to find out? And have you told your doctor you're doing a carnivore diet, or are you telling them that you're doing a modified Mediterranean diet? Because, modified Mediterranean, keywords, doctors are better with that than they are with a ketogenic or carnivore diet. Modified Mediterranean, it's the same thing. But congratulations on getting off your blood pressure medicine. That's awesome. And then Brian's big says, see, that's carb addiction to me. I will skip meals for days and no food twice that noise for me. It's something I have to wait out. Yeah. I don't know what. When I do my OMAD and I eat at home and I don't bring any food to work with me, I always have my red mint salt with me. And if I get food noise, I have that and I put that on my tongue and it generally goes away. I also keep a carnivore bar in the freezer by my desk. And I've had to use that twice in the last 3 months because of food noise that wouldn't go away. But that's what it's for, right? That helps. But for the carb addiction and that food noise not going away, I don't know what would be the best thing to do. And be Osborne, the Bass, that's great that your blood pressure is good without meds now. It is really nice. And Jester, if worried about sarcopenia, I would recommend not doing a fast longer than 7 days. And make sure you're exercising during the fast and listen to your body if it wants to quit a few days early. Yeah. Whenever fasting, always listen to your body. That's great advice. And I think I've only walked on my treadmill or walked around the path that I have maybe once or twice in the while fasting. I don't really do a lot of exercise while fasting. My ketones go up there really well, and my blood glucose stays pretty low. So I don't try to exercise to burn any more of it. Bryce, basically the only time I looked at what I measured 1725 calories a day. That's helped me lose about half a pound a week consistently while healing. That's actually pretty good. That's and actually I think 1725 is at the low end. Listening to Bella, I think her recommendation is like 1800 for the low end, or is it Kelly Hogan for what they recommend for women to be eating? But that's not a bad spot to be at. Is right there. That's where most women's body do all right at that lower calories. For men, it's like 2,000 or 2,100 calories is probably the low that they want to go. If you're a smaller guy, it's 1,900. Bryce biscuit, I've never fasted more than 1 day. If that happens, it's due to aversion. I also do an activity protocol to mitigate sarcopenia. That's good. Just I'm addicted to doing minimum 4 fasts to maximize autophagy, ideally once a quarter. So you do 4 fasts in a year. How long do you fast for? Oh, minimum 40 fasts. Okay. But what's your longest fast that you've done, Jester? Yes, I've seen to maximize autophagy, it seems to be 3+ days recommended. Yes. The autophagy kicks in is at like 72 hours or around that area. It's the last 7 or 8 fasts that I've done have all been 120 hours or more just to get to the autophagy, or I should say 96 hours or more, 4 days or more. And the longer I do it, the better this part of my hand gets. You can't really see it right here anymore. It's just a little off color. But my whole hand, all the way up here, this whole area used to be just one big, like, dry scab. It was always dry, scaly skin there. And when I started the carnivore diet, that's gone away. I don't think you can see it in this picture, and I don't have the original one. This picture in the bottom middle here, when I'm in the white shirt, the hand that you can see there, that's the hand that is, the top of it is all scaly. And that's really, you can almost see it, but it looks really different on the picture. I don't know where the original picture of that one is, so I have to do some searching. And Bassno will be a surprise. Okay. Yeah, you don't drop the C word around the doctors for fear of reprisal. Yes, the C word. My doctor was not happy at all about that, but since she helped me cut my medicine down so I can get off of it, I haven't seen her since. So the last time she saw me, I was still over 300 pounds. And I'm at 217 today. I don't want to go back to see her again until I'm reading my weight that starts with a 1. And then I want to go in there just for general blood work to see what's going on, and I want to show her this is what the carnivore diet does. Hopefully by that time, she's still there, hopefully. But I haven't seen my doctor over a year now. So sometimes around doctors, it's better to say really low carb keto. Yeah, Jester. Or modified Mediterranean is another way to say it, because every doctor likes the Mediterranean diet. They can't explain to you what it is, but they like the Mediterranean diet. So if you tell them you're doing a modified Mediterranean diet, they're all good with that. I just tell doctors I changed what I eat. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Yeah, or just be very vague about what you're eating. Just your body gets used to longer fasts the more you do it. That's like breath work. If you're breathing exercises like square breathing and beyond, that Wim Hof teaches. Yeah, it does. I find that for me to do a 120-hour fast, a 5-day fast, it's no problem. I have absolutely no issues doing 120 hours, 5 days. I've done 144-hour just once, and that was my last fast. So, and I tried doing 168 hours, but I was playing on it twice. And both times I failed to get, well, the first time I failed at just over 120 hours. And both failures happened because of electrolytes. I'm used to drinking at least 2 electrolytes a day when I'm fasting. And the one fast, for whatever reason, I didn't have any electrolytes. And it just didn't work. And I wasn't feeling well, so I ended my fast. The second one, my wife and I went to Bismarck, just 2 hours away. And we're about halfway to Bismarck, and I realized I didn't have an electrolyte with it. I had it made, and I was sitting on the counter. But at that time, I already knew that it was too late for me. I needed to have already started to drink it because we left early in the morning, and I usually drink my electrolyte first thing in the morning. I'll have stuff so that my day starts out right. And I didn't. And I ended that one at 144 hours. So, yeah, your body does get used to fasting, and it does take a while. Jess, your 14 days is the longest fast you've done. That's awesome. I've never gone that far. Rise Missing Larry from Carnivore Quest talks about having done a 14 and a 21-day fast. He got additional healing that way. Yes. And that's actually, I've thought about doing that 21-day fast to get rid of the ringing in my ears. Larry had that happen for him. He got rid of his tinnitus. I would love to get rid of my tinnitus. Today is actually day 7 for me for no coffee. I have a little bit in my ears right now. I mean, it's not much at all. I can't tell if it's just the background from the freezer I have in here or if it's actually tinnitus in my ear. But last night, as right before I was going to bed, I was like, hey, I was telling my wife, I don't have any ringing in my ears right now. So for the first time in the last couple of months, I haven't had any ringing. The ringing in my ears went away for several months. Now, when I first started carnivore, I did stop drinking coffee. I stopped drinking coffee and I stopped drinking alcohol at the same time. It's like the first part of October. Or is it the end of October? I can't remember. But I stopped drinking the coffee. And I tried coffee one day at work. It's probably like in February. And the coffee that was made out of this coffee I liked. The next day, I felt like I got hit by a truck, so I didn't do that anymore. Then it was this summer. I tried coffee again. It was Wide Awake coffee that one of the guys at work brought in, and I tried 1 cup. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have any pain, nothing. So I was like, cool, I can drink 1 cup a day at least. And that went up to 2 cups a day. Then we went to Bismarck or something, and I picked up some Dunn Brothers, the Papua New Guinea Western Highlands coffee, which I absolutely love. And I tried that. I didn't have any reaction to that. But then I noticed, maybe a month later or so, my tinnitus was back. And I didn't associate it with drinking coffee because I'd been drinking coffee for a couple of months at that point. Well, there's a couple people, a couple of different streams that I'm in that were talking about coffee and their tinnitus and how getting off of coffee helped with the tinnitus. So I figured, what the hell, I'm going to give it a shot. But Larry got relief from his tinnitus. He was going for a 30-day fast, and he ended at day 21, but his tinnitus went away while he was doing that fast that he did for 21 days. And that's one of the things that it's encouraged me to try longer fasts as I want to see if that will help. That was one of the things I was thinking about doing a fast now for 7 days just to see without coffee. And with this almost gone, if doing a 7-day fast would get rid of it. Still debating on whether I'm going to do that or not. That's what you say, no sugar, no. Yeah, that's why they say no sugar, no starches, or processed food, only whole foods. And leave it at that. And they nod, approve. Oh, yeah. That's what you tell your doctors? Yeah. Absolutely. That's one way. Barring an accident, I don't intend to visit a doctor ever again. Yeah, gesture. I do want to see my doctor. I do want to get some blood panels done, but there's specific ones that I want to look at. And it's a joke around my household that I'm an asshole. And I am. I don't mind it. But I'm just the asshole that will go into my doctor and tell my doctor that these are the blood panels I want. And this is what I want you to put on there. And when my wife was doing this for her blood sugars, her doctor didn't want to do the specific ones that we wanted. And I had to tell the doctor that you work for me. I'm paying for this visit. And this is what we want. And this is what you're going to put on there. Because I'm the boss and you're not. And they don't really like that, but it works. It really does. I mean, they're there for you. They're working for you, and you are in control. You're in charge. They can put on there anything they want to, but they're working for you at that point. You're paying them. So I don't mind being that asshole that tells the doctor exactly what I want and what they're going to do. What are they going to do? Kick me out? Oh, that's fine. I don't care. I don't. There's enough clinics around here that I can go anywhere. And I've actually chose not to go to most of the clinics in this town because I don't really care about them. I do most of anything major I need. I go to Bismarck. I drive 2 hours away because I don't like it here. They tried killing me in this town twice for the hospital. So I won't go to the hospital here. I go to clinics that aren't associated with that hospital. Gesture, all my water, I have a good dose of Redmond salt and a drop of iodine for each 12 ounces. And I might have some creatine sprinkled in it. Yeah. The iodine and Redmond salt. I've never really done creatine. I do have some here. I didn't see a benefit when I was doing it. But the Redmond salt and the iodine, absolutely. Bridesmaids, yes, tinnitus I've had for 35 years now. Seeing by cutting out my coffee, like last night, I didn't have any ringing in my ears last night for a while, which was absolutely incredible. Nice to be quiet. And some people have had since eliminating caffeine as well. Yep. And that's the only caffeine I have is from my coffee. Jester, that sounds like a great way to drink water. I'll try that, and thank you for sharing. Yeah, I've tried drinking iodine in my water, and the iodine taste for me is too strong. That's why I was using it in my coffee. I was going to need to cut way back on drinking my green tea. Yeah, tea has a different set of chemicals in it than the coffee does for that harm your body. And they both do. They both have different things that harm your body. Tea is just a little bit different than coffee. So cutting it out or cutting back on it is going to help some. Yeah, you stopped tea due to the oxalate concerns. Is that what it was in tea? Coffee has something different than tea. I don't remember what it was. Because I've researched both of them, and I've never really liked tea, so unless it's iced tea. And then it's got to have sugar in it, which doesn't work for us anymore. He's put more salt, but over time you put less, but always the same. Yeah. And beyond Warren said, I didn't know about tea and kidney stones. I didn't either. But if it has oxalates, and it makes sense. Doctors get 17 hours of nutritional training or less, according to ChatGPT. Yes. I don't expect them to give me the best advice on diet. Everything else I have much more trust. That's true. Doctors don't give a whole lot. I know it's less than 20 hours of nutritional training. So that's why doctors like Robert Silas, Tony Hampton. Tony Hampton is he has a nutrition master's also. So he's an obesity doctor. He has a master's in nutrition as well as everything else that he's done. So that's one of the reasons I like Tony, because he's very honest about it. And he came from a vegan background. Because he was vegan, or his wife is vegan, and he was almost vegan or whatever, and how he's found his way to carnivore. No, Tony's wife is a diabetic, and she's had a lot of healing through this diet too. I like Dr. Hampton. He's got some really good videos. Yeah, I'm definitely not discouraging anybody from visiting docs. Yep. Use it as a tool to fine tune your health and get specific data that you want from them, especially if you're already paying insurance. Yeah. And yeah, paying insurance it sucks. I haven't used my insurance, and my insurance went up for health insurance. It's just crazy. But, we have to pay for everybody that's getting it for free. Dr. Elizabeth Bright has some good videos regarding teas. See, I haven't watched much of Dr. Bright. I know she's been on Steak and Butter Gal with SBG and Bella. I've seen a few videos of them there, but I've never watched it after that. I didn't know until recently. Also was using, what the heck is that, curcum for arthritis, but high in oxalates as well. Dark chocolate too. Yeah, oxalate concerns will vary by persons. Caffeine has polyphenols, but who knew what caffeine is? It's net, negative, positive, neutral. Yeah. Turmeric. Yep. I gotcha. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that go on, and you really have to watch what's going on. Oh, my wife just got back. She just poked her head in and waved at me. She doesn't want to be on camera. And luckily, I'm using my laptop camera and not my other camera, because I can turn that one. I would have turned it and I would have gotten her on here. And she would have been that. Jester, I don't think polyphenols really do anything for a carnivore, but they may trick or help a carb addict into some sort of benefit. Maybe the anti-nutrients have a war with each other and somehow some beneficial proteins get a chance to sneak through the chaos. Yeah. So, and then Biasma says she takes turmeric daily. Holy smokes. I've been doing this for 2 hours this morning. I'm going to have to take off here in just a minute. It was great talking to everybody this morning. Thank you guys for stopping in and hanging out. Bryce just took turmeric for a year, didn't get any benefit personally. Bass, thanks for the info today. We'll try to interact more in the future. Gotta go for now. Well, thanks, Bass. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Yeah, Osborne, it sounds like I am adding oxalates and didn't realize it. I have to. I love lives. Learn so much. You learn so much from the people participating in them. Not necessarily from me, but everybody else. Everybody has information, and it's great that people in this community share so openly and readily. It's nice. Judge says, P.S. Don't take any of that last comment to heart because I have not done any research on it. All right. Well, thank you. Bryce, absolutely. Going to be trying to do these on Saturdays and Sundays, probably about 10 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So, like I said yesterday, I saw there's a gap on the weekends for support groups, and might as well see if I can help somebody and help people to stay true to their lifestyle and give anybody support that needs it. Oxalates for me are a concern, so I learned all I could. Happy to share. I do appreciate it because I don't know a whole lot about the oxalates other than they're not good for you. And oxalate plants have bad reactions to a lot of people. And Jester says, have a great day, everyone, and a great weekend. You too, Jester. Have a good one. Yeah, and everybody's down to hack their health. I missed Kiltz this morning. His Sunday morning rants are just epic. I love how excited he gets, and he just is funny as hell on Sunday mornings. And I enjoy that about Dr. Kiltz. Yeah, you're welcome, Osborne. Well, it's been just over 2 hours now, so I'm going to let it go. You guys have a great week. Remember, Dr. Kiltz is on at 5 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Eastern, and Carnivore Quest is on at 11:55 a.m. for the morning meeting. Starts before noon. You all have a great day, and we'll see you throughout the week. Thanks.